Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we are going to complete the Flash Women War Games. And it is called Flash for a reason because we are less than 4 hours into the event and we're already just about to get our Shotzi Blackheart. And we've already got our Crucible Drew McIntyre. And we have Bailey, we have our Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and we have of course the Tempest Asuka. So without any further ado, let us jump in here and finish this event off and see what the heroic side looks like. So we don't want left arrows there, we do want up arrows and we do want down arrows. So we're going to put an up arrow here, we're going to put a down arrow here, and we're just going to ignore those two for just now. In respect, let's go ahead and take them all. And we will use the super meter as well. So do I need to do anything else there? I think that should be okay. Now this is the interesting thing. I don't know whether this is human players that is taking this from, but you know, I mean, they are very, very easy to defeat, which is very, very satisfying. But I have noticed that making your deck weaker, sandbagging as people are calling it, does not work in this new format. It did work before. It was one of my other tutorial videos, of course. But it seems that it no longer works. So, oh my goodness, it looks like we may have to just suffer a minus 10% stat here. But I think that is fine considering our Charlotte Flair has the over 1,000 stats. And considering what it seems our opponent is using, looks like we're not having any situations or any problems whatsoever. Nice and easy. Well, these are all full, so let's just go ahead and we'll use China. Yeah, so I'm certain that this is an actual opponent. They're not actually playing me, it's the computer is using the opponent's deck, which has all been made into WrestleMania 39 cards, which does not work any longer. It is much better to just use your strongest cards, as shown and proven there. And of course we get the plus 40, which brings up to 166, and then that is of course doubled to 332, which means we have got ourselves a Crucible Shotzi. I'm going to screenshot that. I don't know whether I'm going to use that as a screenshot, or if we're going to use the heroic upgrade part as a screenshot. We're going to leave that for just now. But there we are, there's the heroic Women's War Games. It has been unlocked, and let us see what it is we have in here. So we have a Tempest American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. We have the Detention Becky Lynch. The Noir is going to be the Viper, the Legend Killer, Randall Keith Orton. And then, it's going to be a Charlotte Flair for the Crucible, which we have already got a pro of. That's going to be a Fortified. And then, of course, the Heroic Upgrade at 7,200 points. So, very, very cool indeed. Very, very fast. Let me see if we can train up our Shotzi just a little bit. Let's lock that down. Now, I think this is the most up-to-date image of Shotzi, because everything else is all, well, from her previous times. So I think this is the one we're going to go with. Let's go ahead and train. We do not need these cards, so that is going to bring her up to level 61. I don't think we actually need the Crucible Drew McIntyre either. Let me just get rid of these cards, certainly. Of course, Shotzi is down arrow. Let's just take a look at our females. And in terms of down arrows, we have, of course, China, Alba Fire, JC Jaden. And then the next one, I suppose, is either Scarlet or what would be this Pro Noir China. And because we're getting the Tundra tier, I think I'm going to do away with this Noir China. Now, I'm well aware that if I train them away as they are, it will actually give me more levels, because this is level 100 and this is level 0. However, we're missing that little star, and quite frankly, I would like to have that extra star there. So we are going to combine these. Just is what it has to be, but there she is. There is China, who is, of course, a massive legendary figure. It's going to give me 20 levels. It's going to put Shotzi up to level 81. And let's just check our meals. So in terms of up arrows, we have the double heroic Eddie Guerrero, of course. Also, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in any previous videos, but see this one that is the double heroic Eddie, and this R-Truth, which is of course the ranked one. If you actually look at the background here, and the two saws in the forefront, this is actually the same card. It's just missing these little spikes that are going across the top and bottom here, and of course the parts at the sides. But there's the two saws, there's the two axes that are swinging in the pendulum in the background. It's the exact same card. I don't know, to me that just seems a little bit lazy. It's weird. I'm not sure what happened with Season 10. I think maybe it was possibly rushed. Maybe they had a different idea for what the ranked event cards would look like, and it just never came to fruition. And that's why we have the same one. Because they've put the effort in for these ones, for like the Christmas events, and we now have the animation for the Santa. I saw one of the comment sections before saying, oh, Santa has always had an animation. He has not. If you go back just 2 days ago to my Clash of Champions video, you will see that the Santa did not have the animation back then. So do not believe what you read on the internet. It is on occasion lies. So in terms of our up arrows, we have of course Eddie Guerrero, we have our pro Iron Sheik, we have our pro Dijakovic, and we have our pro Luke Gallows. So unless we actually got a pro for Drew McIntyre, and then trained them both up to level 100, got them both for 100 games, pro'd them together, trained that up to level 105, got that as 100 games, it would only stand a chance of being just a little bit better than one of these. So, unfortunately, we don't need the Scottish psychopath himself, Drew McIntyre. But one thing we can do very quickly, just before we do, is just swap this out. And there he is with his sword. We have a couple of different sword images that we'll just take a quick look at before we get rid of him. That one's kind of cool. And I believe Maelstrom is the other one where he's holding the sword. Yeah. But we're going to use that to train our Shotzi as well. It's going to give it another 10 levels. It's going to put Shotzi up to level 92. And now let us... Oh, our performance center. We have fully got our 100 matches into our fortified one of Michin. And I think the next one we will train... I think we'll go with Lyra Valkyrie, because she has quite a bit to go. She only has 36 or 100 games. So let's go into the draft board. We'll use these 11 picks that we had saved up from earlier. And we got a Seth Rollins out of it as well. A detention Seth Rollins. The best cartoon witch's laugh in all of professional wrestling. That's going to give another 6 levels to Shotzi. Putting Shotzi up to level 99. We are very, very close to reaching that level 100. So I think what we shall do, we shall play another War Games. And if I click autofill here, then Bianca Belair will most certainly be swapped out for our Shotzi. And there is Shotzi right there, level 99. Although I do have to swap this out because this is only given to speed, and I would prefer 2 things, such as power and charisma. So let's go ahead and jump in now. I just realised that Meechin has actually became stronger than our Charlotte Flair. That's crazy. Didn't expect that to happen. So let us jump back in, see how much damage we can do to the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And this should also allow us to get our Shotzi up to level 100. He said, forgetting what he was saying mid-sentence. That was weird. So because we don't have the super meter, I'm just going to do this time to comfortably take these two rings and leave this one. This opponent, he appears to be using detention cards. I don't think the decks are scaled for this event, because I appear to be against a lot of players that have a lot of cards that are weaker than my own. Which I'm not complaining about, but I'm sure that if I was on the other side, I would be a little bit annoyed about it, to say the least. I'm just going to do this, and just to make sure, I'm going to put the title onto Bianca Belair against all sane course of judgment. Quite frankly, I'm quite happy with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky being champions. I think Bianca Belair maybe held onto the belt just a little bit too long, to the point where she wasn't having very many interesting storylines. Well, I guess we're going for the Pro Nia Jax, because she is the next strongest card. And once again, this is what I was saying, folks, that a lot of these opponents are using slightly weaker cards than what I have. I have been grinding a tremendous amount into this game to try and get a halfway decent set of female Crucibles. There we go, 156, which is multiplied by 2, bring us up to 312, which means we don't have that very many points left to get. It's only 108 to finish off the American Nightmare, the Tempest, Cody Rhodes. So let's just go ahead and grab these, and we shall use these to level up our Shotzi. Also, folks, do remember to claim your daily rewards. That is currently day 3. Let's go ahead and claim the daily streak as well, since we can. There's a couple of tickets that I did not claim, because I was playing the Women's War Games. I almost said Giants Unleashed there. That was weird. There is our daily streak. We got a hardened Bailey. Now we can get rid of these. And remember, if you get all of the daily rewards, instead of the Christmas card coming out on Christmas Day, it's now going to be Boxing Day, because for some reason Cat Daddy, in their infinite wisdom, decided to put the rewards back 24 hours. Don't know why, but they did. If you understand why, please do let me know in the comment section below, because I'm very interested to find out why. So, one of the great things in this update is that the cards do a bit more when you are using them for trading. Oh my goodness, look at that, smidgen. Hey, smidgen. I feel like anything would level up, but let's just do that. And there we are. There is Shotzi at level 100, of course, without her 100 matches, but still very, very powerful. Let's go in order from lowest to highest. So her speed is 612, her power is 632, her toughness is 670, and the charisma is 716. And of course, the Senton Splash gives the added ability, the added strength to toughness and charisma, those additional points. So very, very cool. And let's just see whereabouts that sits with the rest of our females. So she is already stronger than our fully leveled fortified 1 Noir, Sonya Deville, but she is just a tiny bit weaker than our fully leveled level 100 Valhalla. But of course, once Shotzi gets her 100 games, and once we get Shotzi her heroic upgrade, I'm sure that she will overtake another couple of those cards. So that is what you guys are playing for. Let's just use the rest of our cards. Not sure what one to go for. Do I actually need this Scarlet? Let me just check. Females, because you only need 4 of each card in reasonable standards. So we have Shotzi China, Alba Fire, and JC Jane. So we don't really need the Scarlet. If I did fully level her up, she might be just a little bit stronger. She would, at best, get up to the point that Sonya Deville is at, just being a tiny bit higher than her Crucible China. But I don't really feel like we need her. Whereas the Bianca Belair and the Dakota Kai still hold a purpose, I don't think our Scarlet actually does. So I think we're going to unlock that, and we're going to just use her to train maybe something else. In terms of what I want to train, I'm not sure. The thing is, I like to keep hold of these just in case I need them, but anything that is 2 stats we don't need. Everything that is 1 stat we do need for the Wild campaign. So the Paul Heyman, the Sonya Deville, the Ambush, the Microphone, which is a pro, we don't really need any of those. And the Second Wind is very, very good if you can get it, especially in Crucible, just because it gives a small amount of power to everything, which means that it will always be active. But say the fight is going to be about power, and you use a Second Wind, and the opponent uses a Microphone, the Microphone is going to win because it only gives power to 2 things. But if you use a Second Wind, the opponent uses nothing, then you'll win regardless of what stat it is. So that's the dichotomy of it, where you have to decide, what am I wanting to do with this? I'm going to train up my Aura Mensa though, so let's just go ahead and level him up. So I'm only going to do 2 levels, bring up to level 71, and this only gives 18 levels, which I guess is fine. We don't need it. That's going to put my Aura Mensa up to level 89. The reason that I do need these... Oh, he's actually already stronger than our Undertaker. Undertaker isn't full leveled yet. He has Fortified 3, but that would be stronger than a non-fortified Undertaker, which is crazy. That just goes to show how powerful these Crucible Christmas event cards are. No, I didn't mean Classic View. But if we go into Mail here, you'll see that my left arrows are not quite as amazing. We have, of course, R-Truth. Then it is Goldberg, Karrion Kross, and Undertaker. And Undertaker's now just been replaced by Oro Mensa. So, and we do have a Omos and Ilya Dragunov, but I'm waiting until I get pros of some of those left arrows before I actually start dedicating myself to trying to get these guys up to level 100. So that is my reasoning, that's my rationality. And you know what, since we're here, why don't we just finish off the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and get into the detention Becky Lynch. We'll just do this very, very quickly on camera. And so we have left arrow, up arrow, and down arrow. We have all of those. So I'm gambling a little bit here. We don't know what the opponent is going to be like, which is where the part of the problem is. I'm going to put Charlotte over here, where with what is essentially our weakest card, and I'm going to equip the title to Sonya Deville to help her out a little bit. And we're just going to proceed and see what the computer wants to do with this. So we are against detention opponents. Or at least this is a detention card initially. Yep, as long as it's just 1 detention card, we're fine. And even if it's 2 detention cards here, we are still fine. Unfortunately, no left arrows, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm going to put this one in here. I'm going to put a down arrow in here. We're going to put Alba Fire. And over here, we need to give just a little bit more support. Just going to do this. And we're going to go with that one. What is this? It's plus 10% to all stats. That's a little bit more than what I was hoping. So I'm just going to do this and proceed there. I think we should be fine there. Although our China's speed is down to mere 98, which is not very good. And those three should be completely fine. And now with the final round, I'm just going to put Maxine in here. And we're just going to proceed, because I think everyone should be safe. It wasn't 94, it was 64 that she got down to. So using your best cards is the correct way to do this version of Women's War Games, at least. I may put this down as a tutorial just to show people really just use your best cards. But there isn't much more to the tutorial than that. So there we go, we got 332, I believe it was. We've got our American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And we've earned enough battle points to grab a reward, my goodness. And we shall do that, and we are now 224 points into Becky Lynch as well. You might have noticed that I didn't dust the cards. Of course, if you want to, you can always dust the cards from here now. That is one of the upgrades, that you can just go into dust cards here and just choose what ones you want to dust. However, I'm putting more of an effort into trying to get all my cards up to the maximum level before the new tier Tundra drops. That is what I am trying to aim for. So Cody Rhodes is going to give plus 3 levels here. Going to put Ora Mensa up to level 94, and he has now actually surpassed our Fortified 2 Goldberg, meaning he is our second best left arrow. Of course, he's not going to go beating our R-Truth anytime soon, even if he was a pro. But there we go, folks. Hope that that has been a little bit of help to you. Also, I want to thank everyone who's been sending me messages, that has left me comments saying that I've helped you in some way with my little tutorials, my little videos, and helped you become a better player of Supercard. Really does mean a lot to me when I see these happy little comments. There is on occasion troll comments, and I do not mind scuffling with them in the comments section. It is some of them can be a little bit hilarious. But if you ever see anyone that's causing bother and things in the comment section below, either just ignore them or feel free to join in the fun. Don't let them get under your skin and don't let them upset you, because they are absolutely not worth it. And that is exactly how I feel whenever I see any of these ridiculous comments. But I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to the entire Grand Cat Grand Fleet, and I will be doing another video just as soon as I finish the heroic upgrade. But it is currently 2:10 in the morning here in the home of the Grand Cat, Scotland, and I may go for a brief snooze and maybe record the final in the morning. Haven't decided yet, maybe I'll just stay up. That is the joy of being an insomniac. But that is going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope you all enjoyed, and if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Also, that may be the thumbnail.